Welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I am just so glad to have you here. Let me say hello to all my friends and your friends. Hello, Paul,
Hello, Paul.
and this Billy, Tammy, Marina, uh, Salute in the house.
Hmm.
Oh, she says, Salute says, aloha, beautiful Teresa Sante. And hey now,
Hey
Brad.
now. Hey now.
So good.
Hi,
And
Brad.
Lisa Brown says hello. Susan Margaret says
Hi,
hello.
Susan.
Oh man. Loris Bo says hello. And Abby Collins says hello. That's Laura's mother.
Aw.
Collins, and Carolyn was on my show today.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
says hello. Man, you're popular. Straight says hello.
Look at that. We're up to
Oh my
17.
man. And
Aw.
Jana Musso says hello. And Chandra Rump says hello.
Hello.
Other people. And hi, Teresa from Billy Stoll. So, man, so good. I am so glad to see you. You one of my favorite people. you
Well,
know,
you're one of mine.
you know, you have a great smile, and I just love that. You brighten up the room every time you're in it, whether it be on happy hour, this type of show. You just, oh, Lynette says hello,
Hello, Lynette.
and Virginia Bruce says hello. So tell me about Teresa pre stroke. Tell me your
Oh,
story.
so, well, at the time, let's see. Well, we'll just go with the profession. I was a professional admissions manager for a um, rural hospital being a 24 bed critical access hospital.
Got it.
Um, it has all the lines of business, a clinic, and all of that. And I was responsible for all the registrations that would go through the hospital, whether that be outpatient, inpatient, ER, anything that was registered. About 35,000 registrations a year. That's small. In a small area. That's
Yes.
each visit. But I had a department. I had a lot of responsibility. Um, I carried big keys, and I had a lot of responsibility.
Is
Tough
that
job.
what you wanted to do growing up?
Oh no, no,
Tell me about
no,
that.
no! I didn't want to work ever in a hospital ever. My mother worked in a hospital as a housekeeper.
Mhm.
Um, I'm actually, I'm a preacher's kid. Um,
Oh.
yeah, I'm right. So, yeah,
No comments about preachers' kids.
yeah, probably not. Anyway, so my parents were missionaries, and as a kid, I'm the youngest of six, and as a kid, we would, Dad would, you had the old phone. Dad had the phone by his bed, by his side. He'd get the call. It was clergy,
Yep.
and so I would toddle off with him. He'd get his suit on. I'd go wherever he went, and um, hmm, I'd be in the waiting room. I worked the lobby from the time I was a kid. You couldn't go back there if you were under 12. So dad and mom would go back to the acute care, wherever they needed to be to pray or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would be left in the waiting room
Really?
with the, yeah,
Hey,
that was,
Jerry said hello.
hello, Jerry.
So
Jerry's famous.
I know. I
I
told
know.
him this all the time.
He's
Jerry's just
famous.
so famous.
I know.
You
It's like
know,
autograph. We need his autograph or something.
autograph. He stole my platform shoes out of my closet.
Well, he has a collection. Oh.
So when,
But,
how did you end up in the hospital? You didn't want to do that.
well, that was, gosh, 23 years ago. It was back in 1997. And I needed a job. I needed a job badly on Monday through Friday. I'd been self-employed. We had a coffee shop, my husband and I. And, we have 4 kids. I had 2 that were in diapers. And,
Wow.
you know, my husband and I worked opposite schedules. So he would work days, I'd work nights. The other one would take care of the kids. So we'd avoid daycare. And, I could get a night job at the hospital.
I
And
got
then I could work during the day doing something else. I usually had 2 to 3 jobs plus kids. I could juggle everything. There wasn't, I thrived on stress and just
yeah.
bring it on. That was my
Laura said
nature.
hi from Maine, by the way.
Hi, Laura.
She's in
Beautiful
Maine
woman.
right now. A bunch of people are saying hi to you.
Hello, hello, hello.
A lot. Leslie Hadley, yes,
Oh,
love
Leslie.
Leslie.
They're all rock stars,
They are.
They're
So
all rock stars.
tell me about your kids.
Mm. Well, I have I have a stepson. My husband and I have been married since 1988, been together since 1986. So he had a child, he had a son. And he's been, when I got married to Todd, he came with a son. So I've been a mom for a long time, since I was 22. And then I had my first child at 25. And then I had 2 more by the time I was 30. And then I worked at the hospital. And so my kids are, let's see, um, Alan, Angela, Amanda, and Aaron.
I have
Um,
5, by the way, 5.
well, and it's busy, isn't it? You're in
Woo!
sports. I
Yes.
was a gym mom. My kids were in sports. My daughter, at the time of my stroke, she was um, home on break. She worked at the hospital with me. She was she's actually in the room when I had the stroke. She
Wow.
is almost 30. She's still in school. She's in Rochester, going to the University of Rochester. Um, my next daughter, she had premature twins, 12 weeks premature.
Wow.
And I was at her house when I had to go to the hospital. And I was initially going to be interviewed at that time, but it was a crazy time. And those twins almost didn't make it, one especially. And it's been a really tough year.
Yeah,
But
we had that occurrence with my daughter. She had 2 twins, Luke and Jude. And
oh,
one of them, Jude, was rushed to the critical care center.
mhm,
Lauren was staying in one hospital. She couldn't go there. And
mhm,
we thought that little boy was going to die. And
mhm,
by the grace of God, she was he was fine. So just really lucky that we have her, and
mhm.
and him, and combined. So tell me about what happened when you had your stroke.
Well, honestly, my stroke came like I'm the youngest of 6 children. 4 of us are girls. And at that time, we lost my sister Rose to cancer in 2009.
Mm.
And she had been my primary caregiver. We were all in shock. It was horrible. And she died of cancer. And then just a year and a half later, my oldest sister Lois was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and
Oh my
she
God.
was gone in 7 weeks. I had my stroke
I'm so
Just
sorry, by the way.
5 days, about five, I think a week after I saw her last. She died on a Saturday, and I had my stroke on a Tuesday, I think, Tuesday or
Wow. You
Wednesday.
can't make this up. That's,
No, no, it was horrible. I couldn't, I was in shock. I mean, they were always there. And I think truly, God has his ways, doesn't he? I
yes,
don't think it was meant for my mother to lose three of her girls.
exactly.
Um, we would lose my mother 5 years to the day of losing my sister. We've lost my father-in-law. Todd and I have both lost both parents. I've lost, half of my family's gone.
A lot of loss. A lot of
Tons,
loss.
tons, and about 10 really good friends. There's been several tragedies. Each time, it's like a kick in the chest. It's like
You know,
starting over.
Teresa, I'm really just, I'm sorry, but so hard to hear. I lost my mother and dad in 17 days.
Yeah, it's awful.
A
I'm
year
sorry.
after I had my stroke, my dad died, and my mother, that was my hero, called me to her bed and said she had been diagnosed with terminal bone cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I've got to go be with your dad. I just stayed around to see him off. I'm
Oh.
going to die soon, so you stay close and hold my hand. We're going to talk about a lot of good things. And 17 days later, she was gone, just
Mm-hmm.
gone. And loss is it's hard thing to deal with. Because I can't imagine that series of losses you encountered in your life. How
Yeah.
how did you get through it?
Well, badly. I mean, it hasn't been good. It hasn't been, there's, wow. I've left a wake. I'm still married. My children still love me. I've left a wake. Um, and I try and fix all of that as best I can, you know. I couldn't talk. I couldn't ask for help. I
You
couldn't
know,
say I love you. I couldn't say I couldn't process information. It was all confusing. And, I had been a manager and managed people. So I just put those skills into play and said, "Oh, great. You know how to do performance improvement. You know how to do problem solving. You
mm,
know how to divide things into ABCs, one, two, threes, and you know spreadsheets. And if you know scientifically, and you've had four children who have each done four science fair projects from fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade,
mhm.
and seriously, you know how to collect data, find resources, use social media, and all of you have been just part of it. Truly, the support group, Paul, was, I think, the key to
Yes.
bringing it across. It feels like to me, I've been in a marathon. No,
Mhm.
no, an Ironman.
Yeah, exactly. I
This,
can understand that. It's
and
just,
now I can just, after practicing week after week after week, I can do this.
can
And I
I
feel
ask you a
confident.
question? The progress you've made since I met you, I just have to say, it's been nothing short of remarkable. I am so impressed with your progress. More important, I'm so impressed with the way you fight and you have determination. Um, and just, it's really good that you have that because when I had my stroke, I was a speaker, traveled all over the world. When I woke up, I could only say 111. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know my kids' names. I couldn't form my kids' names. I couldn't say, I love you, mom. I couldn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little bit depressed, angry, sad. How did you handle all that? Because you said you left awake. I have to, I was, I should apologize to my kids because I left awake too. And
Mm-hmm.
I left awake at the hospital, by the way. I,
Well, the hospital for me was where I worked.
uh,
And the detail, truly, I was in a, we had a, my sister had just died, and it's June, and it's the annual hazmat drill.
mm,
Truly, it's a hazmat drill, full on hazmat drill. And we have to, and I'm part of that team, but I
wow.
had been on leave to see my sister, and I'd come back. I had no idea and so, but it's supposed to be a surprise. You're supposed to be ready. So here we go, drill. And then there's a, then
I
there's a,
love your sense of humor, by the way.
well, you have to laugh. Then there's a disaster debriefing, and you're in I'm right under the ER in a conference room, and there's over 20 people in the room, and we're debriefing all the mistakes, all the stuff, we're supposed to write it down and all of that. And then all of a sudden, I start getting nauseated, and my HR director is next to me, and I think I left probably I like pulled his like, because I was going to go down in the
Wow.
room. The last
You
thing
had your hospital, no, you had the stroke at the hospital?
yes. Isn't
Oh
that
my
funny?
God.
Yeah. But
Convenient.
I winged it. Yeah, because the last thing I wanted to do was, in a meeting of debriefing of disaster, have them have a code. You need to call a code blue calling a code blue, that puts all kinds of things into motion, which I in my head know is going to happen. So I went blank 3 times, like black screen, little tiny light at the end.
Mm,
I don't know. I hunched over. I grabbed the person to my left. I have my eyes on my daughter, who's sitting right there, who just was there for summer work and was put on the
really?
hazmat line. Yeah,
You
she was
can't
put on the
make this
hazmat
up.
line.
You can't make this up.
No. And so, no, nobody has it on their radar. And I am just trying to breathe. And I look over at my daughter, and I was like, first of all, we're not calling a code blue on Teresa Santee in the Sanford room to take her upstairs to the ER. Not happening. I'm not going to be naked in front of everybody that I work with. Not going to happen.
I'm sorry. You're
And
so funny.
and
I love
I am
you.
going to. I ran outside into the street, and I put my head
Uh-uh.
down between my knees, and I saw, like, it was like crystal and glass, and everyone's coming out going, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be in a meeting." And it's like,
Did you hear?
oh
You,
yeah, I could hear, I could talk. I just saw, it was my eyes. It's in my brain stem.
mm,
So, I mean, I was like, it was vertigo. It was like the road was moving, and I was in a boat, and I slid back up to my office, first stopping at the cafeteria to get some orange juice. I thought maybe I was having a blood sugar thing. And
wow.
then everything went into cartoon. I mean, you truly, there's a cartoon look from the inside out. You all look
Yep.
like cartoons. And so I slid back up to my office, and by the time I got to my office, there was 10 people there. My husband describes it as, you left one day for work and you never came home.
Mm.
you know Hard on him.
I'm sure it was hard on him. and your children.
Everybody.
You know, stroke, when you have a stroke, is hard on everybody.
It is.
I just had a conversation with my daughter, my youngest daughter, last night,
Mhm.
and she revealed, Daddy, I was just so mad. And I said, what were you mad about? And she said, I can't lose my dad. I can't lose my dad. I was angry at everybody because she and I grew up really close,
Mhm.
really close. And she said, I just didn't know how to deal with it. So I didn't handle it well. And, by the way, Yvonne asked, did you have epilepsy?
No, but my mother was an epileptic. And when I was born in 1965, my mother had been an epileptic for 15 years, grand mal seizures. She had lost a baby and she had epileptic seizures ever since. And, I wasn't ever supposed to be possible. And surprise, I'm born way after my siblings, way after. My parents are much older. And so she didn't know she was, I don't, I was not a healthy baby. And she almost lost me. And part of this, the back part of my brain did not develop all the way. At a certain
Wow.
point, when you're a fetus, your development of your brain comes around, something like that, and then it completes. And I remember the neurologist saying, do you remember possibly anything that could have caused your mother to almost have a miscarriage?
Wow.
And I said, yeah, I do. I do. It's a horrid story, but, I mean, my mother and my father our family's been through a lot. We've been through a lot.
By the way, somebody said that, Teresa, I didn't know a stroke story could have been so comical. I know it's not, but you
Mhm.
made it sound that way. You have to laugh. If
Don't you, Paul, have to laugh?
you do, because if you sit around and think about all these things that happened to you, you would just cry all day. But
Mhm.
you found the strength. That's what I so admire about you. You have a way of projecting on other people your strength, your commitment, your compassion. You're a fighter, and I can feel it even through this screen. I can feel it. And it's just so important that you have a chance to tell this amazing story, because most people would have thrown in the towel. I love that quote that you said. I threw in the towel. God grabbed it and threw it back and said, wipe your face.
Mhm.
You have things to do.
Mhm.
I
Well,
just
I grew up in church every Sunday, twice on Sunday. I mean, my father was a formidable man, and he was he would be called upon. He had a voice. He had a way about him. And my mother, I mean, I just all of my family fight. They don't realize, I think, that I'm just the youngest of I'm number 8. They're hard to follow,
Wow.
but we all
You
have this
know,
spirit.
Mike Peters said, I called for the children. The only thing that came was my dog. I love,
Well, and
uh,
I had this swearing thing that came up. I was like, where is that coming from? Because I could stream out. It just wouldn't stop. I've had to learn, okay, you need to know when to stop talking. Really,
I'm
yeah.
sorry to laugh. So my first speech teacher, I didn't get speech lessons till I was 7 weeks in. A lot happened. So my first speech teacher came to my house, and I could only say one, 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 one. The second thing I said was one sock, one sock, one sock, one sock, and I can't repeat the other thing. It came with two words, mother, and this lady, this lady was like didn't cuss at all. She was a Georgia peach, raised in and she came
Get the
over.
papers.
She came over to do my lesson. I was so proud that I could say one sock, and she didn't want to hear it. So,
Yeah.
what was your aha moment? I'm sure you had a
I
lot
had
of
so
them.
many. Um,
Hey, Susan says, LOL, love cursing too.
my kids got me a jar, had to spell out the word. I would
Uh-uh.
just buy the words with a $5 bill. It's like, well, here we go. Gas money for everybody. I didn't know, I couldn't control it. And it gave to everybody. You couldn't, I mean, seriously, my husband's like, dude, he has a bunch and he says, I'm saving them in my pockets because at some time you're going to understand how much you've cussed me out and, haven't been,
I'm
I just,
sorry to laugh, but you're really funny. So,
I mean, you have to
what was
laugh.
your what was your aha moment when you decided I've got to do something about that? It seems to me you counted on all the things you had learned and used them. I did too. My past became my future.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Let's see. Aha moment. Um, wow. Every day there's an aha, but
every day.
I'm telling you, well, I have to go see my doctor, my lovely Shannon. Yes, we're on a first name basis. Her husband Jeff is also my doctor. We did, just can I put this in? Uh, hold on, Susan Margaret. Hold on. Cancer, colon cancer. Yeah, I have to be, they caught that. And it's,
I got
yeah,
it.
they caught that. And that was my doctor's, I have a husband wife team. She said in August when I saw her, she said, because I was a commissioner for the city, a planning commissioner, I thought that meant go into a room with a round table and have a brainstorming session. And I went there for my first meeting, and my name is up on the podium, and I called it two doors down from the gavel. Okay, I have to make motions and first and second, and sometimes I was anyway, I had to give that up in August. And then I just focused on this. Truly, Paul, I just focused on this and what
Let
we
me
were
ask
doing.
you a question. Mike asked a question from New South Wales. How important is faith to you and me? So you go first.
Oh, that is it. That's to my core. I am a Jesus freak. Truly, I am. I'm a believer. I raised in church. My Pentecostal is my background.
Yeah.
Um, tough, tough. That whole. all of that and everything that, you know, in the choir and the, yeah. So that is, yeah, he's in me, through me, around me. Gospel every day. I wake up with it. I have my songs. And they're playing all the time. Music is the thing. Truly, when you put the
Me too.
component of music, that has skyrocketed me. I have a playlist I'm putting together.
Me too.
I can put music to pictures. I've taken almost 9,000 pictures, you know,
Wow.
because you can't talk. So you have this lovely iPhone that's very smart. So I just took pictures and I make little videos and clips and I make funny pictures, you know, I make emojis of myself.
You should.
Someday they will come in handy. Well, look at this. You've used some now. So, you
Yeah.
know, it's
Let me
something I
see
can
what
do.
I can. What about this? Maybe. Wait. Tell me about. That's the first time you were in the hospital.
No, sir. That is actually this. See, I never went to, I was in the hospital, but I was in a meeting and slid my face back up to my office. So that's, you know, and I've always looked like, you know, I've looked okay. So if you look okay and you can talk kind of okay, then you must be, you know, I mean, it's hard to, that picture right there was almost a year ago. That was just before everything hit 2020. I was in South
Mhm.
Carolina, Goose Creek. My daughter had just, I have Milo, Thatcher, and John, my grandsons, and Lil Thatcher was still in the hospital in ICU. He spent over 100 days in ICU. That is just, I had I thought I was having a stroke right there. I told my
Mhm.
daughter, I said, I was supposed to interview with Jerry. And I felt my face tingling and I was like, we need to go. And
Wow.
she got me to the hospital. It ended up being, I had a nerve root. You have nerve roots in around your neck, and I have to be really careful about my neck, any kind of
Yeah.
jewelry or anything, because it will cause that caused me problems. I had to go to therapy all summer. That was my whole right side down to my toes. But Salute had good exercises and stuff. Everything you guys do is phenomenal.
Well, Salute is um, for her to get up every day
Mm-hmm.
and not let this define her or Tom
Mm-hmm.
and provide hope and encouragement is so important. And I know it's hard for her sometimes. I know it's hard for Tom sometimes. And just, I really pray for them a lot. You know, Laura has brought so much, she's dragged me back to God. I didn't run away, but you can't run away from Laura talking about God.
Well, and God doesn't
When
go
you-
anywhere. God doesn't
and
go anywhere. We go
you know
places. He doesn't go anywhere.
what? How about this?
Oh, that's going to be part of the bicycle story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
to tell the
Because
bicycle?
no, probably not. Yeah.
What?
I
Oh,
have to find it. It's a great story. It's a great story. You know, it involves the
I'm not going
mayor.
to ask.
I
You
know.
you
That
can
was, you know,
volunteer, but I'm not going to ask.
I was playing around with pictures and I had it, you know, I opened like what was called a dream center in a little mall.
Really?
And it was, you know, I was doing little facials and I couldn't talk. They were horrible. But you know, it's a pretty picture, isn't it? Isn't it cute?
It, it is.
Just like the
It
bike.
is.
The bike was cute too.
No comment. No comment at all. How about this?
Oh, well,
Tell me about that.
that early on. Okay, so that's this guy right here.
Yep.
Um, I got a package in the mail. See, it was thought really and truly. I mean, they thought I had stress induced anxiety because my sister had died. My other sister had died. I mean, everything just looked like, oh my gosh, she's imploding. So that was my treatment plan. And we all, depression, all that. So my sister-in-law sent me this, and I couldn't find my Bible. So sent me this. So I got this along with a Bible, and from my brother and his wife. And, I just started reading. I was like, wow, that's powerful. And then what I do when I like a book, I start marking it up.
I can tell. Me too.
I mark
I
it.
love to mark up books. Highlighters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, me too.
Mm-hmm. And if you if you're having trouble reading, I find that just even like read the back or read the inside or read the titles, read anything. You have to start somewhere.
I want to share you a story. My son, I wish I brought it in here because I have it outside in my garage. My son came into my garage with a series of flashcards, fourth grade flashcards, a pre-K kindergarten book, and he laid it down. And I tell this story all the time. That was my son Ryan. He said, "Dad, I know your gifts have all been stolen from you." And he said, "I'm sorry, but you have to start somewhere." And he said he was exiting the door. He turned around and said, "By the way, you've got this. You've got this." And he shut the door. And I took a week to say sock. So I doubled my vocabulary from one sock. And then I added the other words when I met my speech teacher. But anyway, how did you get so much better since I met you? I really want
But I
to
don't understand personally. I can't tell the difference. Whatever it is you're seeing.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea.
I'm telling you.
I've never watched any of the videos of myself. It's very, very hard for me to look at pictures. It's hard for me to look or listen to any kind of tape. It's awful. It's like, man, I just want to can we just bury it? Can we just move on? It's embarrassing. So I don't know personally what you guys see or what you hear as being I'm happy that that's noticeable.
It is. It's noticeable. And I was just so proud of you last week on the happy hour. It was just like you were talking like so good.
It's at Christmas time, you know how you said you had this conversation with your kids, your son, it's been 10. I had my first conversation with my daughter on Zoom, because Zoom, this is really not easy because I can't see this is a little phone, and I just have I'm just looking I can't really see comments or anything. So I have to just carry on.
Well, there's a lot, by the way. You're very popular.
So
there's a lot.
when your kids go, like when I interviewed with Jerry back in August, my daughters, my best friend, my husband, they all went, "Wow, Mom, a whole hour. Good job." It's like, I know. And then I went to bed. And then, now I had a full conversation. I'm having conversations with my daughters, with people. I'm having back and forth.
Yes. I
And
miss that so much.
that is, and like for, Michelle Renee, you're going to get it, girlfriend.
She
I don't know
is.
if she's on here, but she's going to get,
She's
I was
going to get it.
just like her.
Carolyn Horn and me are going to work with Michelle. She is going to get it. I'm telling you,
She's
she's
gonna.
going to get it.
Mm-hmm. And
And,
look out.
praise God for everything because she's going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, she's going to get it.
So you just, I'm not programmed. From a little kid. I mean, I had my first event in the neighborhood at the age of 8. I'm a lot like you, Paul. I sold things door to door. Everyone knew me in the neighborhood.
Yep.
I was very busy. I don't know. I mean, I've always worked. That's just what my parents, that was just okay. If I wanted to do anything or have money, I had to do it myself. And so, I had a bike parade at 8. I'm very high. I'm very high functioning. I just know how to do stuff.
I
So
just couldn't sit around and do nothing. I had to do the work. I had to learn to talk. I was obsessed and like magnificently obsessed with talking. I just wanted to talk.
incessantly, probably all the time. Were
Yep.
you incessantly talking? Was that on
Yes.
your report card, Paul?
Yeah.
Did you have, where you had talked in class?
Well, I didn't get wrote up because I was a football player and they wouldn't write me up.
Oh,
They wanted me to play.
I see. Okay. So, it's, boy, we just have to hit it, and it's coming. It's coming,
Exactly.
you know.
I have never had a show where I couldn't keep up with the comments. I'm like a mile behind. There's so many watch.
Well, I can't see any of them.
Your
So
language is way more fluent, Mark Garman.
thanks, Mark.
Uh, I am thinking like you, Marjorie.
Marjorie.
Susan said, "You are powerful, Teresa."
Thank
That's
you. So are
it.
you, Susan.
And Michelle Renee, it's like really good at talk. You're going to get it, Michelle. And
Mm-hmm.
Lynette said, I see it too a lot better. And man, that's what I miss. I don't know what she's talking about, but by the way, Bo said it's noticeable. You are doing so well. That's from Gallatin, Tennessee, Bo.
I sing all around the house now. I sing badly. I'm out of tune. My voice is all, ugh, but
That's
I
okay.
sing, 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 sing. I actually sing the word. It's like, okay, it's like I prepare for Wednesday. We're going to sing.
Exactly. We're going to sing. You know
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like the dance party?
Oh, yeah.
It's so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it the last 2 weeks. It
Yeah.
was so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, your speech is fluid. That's what the Kent Pantera said. And so Luz says, Teresa, we love you. And
Oh,
thank you for
I love
sharing
you
your
too.
story. Oh,
Absolutely.
Jerry says, um, Annette says, just get it done.
Get her done.
And Lisa said, I need that. And
Powerful.
my report card was bad, never was quite. Well, you can say that. Jerry said, thank you. You are speaking so well. This is a love fest for Teresa. Love fest, love fest. Get on board.
Well, and just, you know, if there was one thing that I really would do differently, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
and this is for people who work in a hospital, nurses, you know, we work with we like to go, nah, it's not happening to me. I know nurses just like me. I know doctors just like me. Okay. You feel something in your head. You feel something in your heart, your arm, your face. Go to the ER. Fall on the ground.
Exactly.
Let them call a code blue. That's what would have happened.
You know what,
And I would have gotten the
Teresa?
drugs
I
I
can't
needed, and we
believe
would be
you
having
said.
a different conversation right now.
I can't believe you said, no way they're going to see me naked. I'm going outside.
I know, right?
You know, you have a funny way of describing your stroke story. Oh, by the way, love dancing, Susan Margaret
Hmm?
and Jana. Lovely story. Thank you for sharing from Canada. And
Absolutely.
I love
Isn't this
Michelle.
fun,
Hugs,
Paul? I
hugs,
mean, goodness
hugs.
sake. You know, one of my favorite things to do is say, you know, I have friends that are in Greece. I have friends in Greece. I have friends in
London, Canada,
London. I have friends.
Australia.
Yeah, I love to list off. And then it's like, who do you know in Greece? And I'm like, Yvonne Kempenturis.
The
Thank you
most
very
famous
much.
person in all
And
of
I
this.
know Jerry, and I know Salute, and I know Tom. Let me just hold on. Let's see. Brooke, Lynette, Jerry, Janice, Kathy, Ken, Melissa, Michelle, Mike, Leslie, Salute, Tom, Brad, Paul, Jenna. And I know there's more. You know, I mean, I just write. You just have to write stuff down. Write.
On a serious note, Dr. Horn said, yes, don't die of embarrassment. If you in the hospital, say something.
Yes. I'm going down. Give me oxygen. Seriously. Take me up on the gurney. I'll be fine.
You know, I'm just curious. And, you know, I want to get to the bad side of the story as well. Were you depressed? I was.
Oh, yes. Oh,
You
mercy.
know, I didn't
Oh,
I didn't say anything, but I was internally depressed. And I kept it all in, and it festered and festered and festered. And how about you?
yes. When I discovered I couldn't work and I had to start this process of Social Security at
Me too.
50. Oh, 50. And you have to, it was 4 years. I was denied 3 times. I mean, you just have to go through, you have to go to doctors, you have to go, you have to do job, you have to work, try and work. You have to, and you just come home and you're defeated. Oh, it's just defeat after defeat after defeat. And I did spend a year. At one point in time, I only did 100 steps a day. I laid in bed. I
Mm,
started by moving my toes, and then
wow.
I progressed to cans of soup. You know, I progressed to, you know, I'd sit up in bed and I'd roll my feet out. And you have to move. You have to move, or you turn to driftwood.
Exactly.
Knots. You end up
And
with a
you
fruit
drift
salad in
away.
your back.
You drift away
I mean, yeah,
from
you
everybody.
yeah, and then you just become an ugly you. It's just an ugly time. Yeah, I had it.
So, how did you pull yourself out of this? Was it meditation or was it affirmations or God? Pray? How did you say, enough is enough? This is not going to be my story. I am not going to fall. I am not going to. fail. I'm not going to stay down. I am going to stand up, stick, be strong till I get somewhere. How did you do that, Teresa?
Well, you know, that's going to be my husband, Todd. He just would, I mean, it was just like, well, what are you going to do, Teresa? What are you going to do? And,
Wow.
you know, we have to go to work. We have to eat. We have to, I mean, seriously. And so it's a choice. And you can either wallow, and that feels good for a while.
Yep.
You know, let's wallow in there. I've lost everything. I've lost, and then you start meeting people. And over the last year, too, and truly in 2020, we realized just how, I mean, we are isolated, but we're happy. There's people who are doing this isolation thing. They're not good at it. It's hard, but we have seemed to, you know, I don't know. Am I off track? I don't know
No,
how long I've been talking.
you're good.
I mean,
You know,
you stick to landing. I mean, I was a gym mom. I had a daughter who did gymnastics for
you
5
stick
years.
the landing.
Stick to
Boom.
landing. I had both my son was in gymnastics. I mean, my daughter played football. I mean, you stick it. You don't stop. You just don't. I mean, you just keep going. And things truly, you move things out of your way. You have to make a decision. Okay. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to you. Move aside. It's not that you don't care or love. It's just you have to listen. You have to replace all the toxic stuff with the good stuff.
You know,
And that's what we've done.
I have been so impressed with you and so impressed with other people I have met since I had my stroke. The only thing that I know to do is get up every day, be thankful,
Mm-hmm.
be grateful. I say it all the time. God save me, stroke me for something great. And when I get up and I play my playlist, get up playlist
Mm-hmm.
that Laura helped me build. It's got a lot of songs on that playlist. I get up so thankful, so grateful. I have a gratitude jar that I keep, and I put something in the gratitude jar every day. And I say my affirmations, I say my creed, I eat healthy, I go work out, I pray nonstop because this is a gift. This thing called life,
Mm-hmm.
this thing called life is a gift. And we have one thing 86,400 seconds a day. If you manage your minutes and moments, your life becomes magical. And I would like to thank you for making this moment, this minute, this an hour magical for me because I have laughed my butt off almost at the point of tears. And I managed to not mention, you know what, I can't mention anymore. So I didn't mention that. And you have a unique way of telling your story in a good way that people can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
People can see themselves in you. Oh, I had kids. I had 5 kids. Oh, I my proud were boats wake on both sides.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hurricane, tsunami.
oh, yes. Yeah, I was quite something. I need to over and over, I need to apologize to my kids, but it was the first 3 weeks was woo. That was a lot. So
Mhm.
I'm going to give you the floor. We have about 3 minutes left, and can you believe it gone by that fast?
I know it has.
I
Yeah,
need to get you back on for another show, but
sure.
think about all the people you have met, all the people that you're likely to meet moving forward. What advice would you give to them? Um, I just want to listen.
Oh, surround yourself with an all-star team, professionally, personally. You know, I have good doctors. I have, um, I've remained close to my kids, grandkids. Um, just maintain and, life, manage your stress. Not, my husband told me this morning,
Mm.
this is, well, actually we sat down and I was like, this is supposed to be fun. This is not supposed to be scary. This is not supposed to be, this is supposed to be helpful. The world is not going to stop turning if you're not perfect, Teresa.
I love that.
I like to have my ducks in a row. I like to have all the hairs in the right place. I like to have everything, I like to know everything that's going to happen all the time. And you can't.
Are you a control freak?
I am.
Who knew?
I know. And I haven't been in control of anything except for,
Newsflash.
I know,
Newsflash.
right? Right. Just, lighten up, light heart. You have to work hard, keep at it every day. But,
You know,
you know, I have stuff to look forward to every day of the week
you
now.
do. What my grandfather said years ago when I was going through a bad time, he said, "You know why angels fly, son?" And I said, "Nope." He said, "Because they take themselves lightly."
Yeah.
And you have angels all around you.
Yes.
We do.
Yes. Hmm.
And we sang about that on the Friday show.
Hmm.
My mom was an angel, but some people that came in my midst, I didn't want to hear them. I didn't want to listen to them. There were angels too.
Yes. Yes. They're all around. And, God's in control, in my opinion. He knows what's happening. There's songs that say, he creates a path ahead of us. He's gone ahead of us. If we believe that, not everyone believes that. That's not everyone's path. That's mine. I
Exactly.
believe and always have thought and believed that, it's up to him. I'm getting to know more and more that I'm more human and I need to listen to, I have to listen to that voice. And,
Well, Teresa, I can't believe we're at the end of the hour. I wanted to, somebody said they had her 15-year stroke anniversary. I think it was, oh, I, I, the comments are going about too fast. So,
15 years
um,
is a long time. Brad,
you
20
know,
years? Come on, that's a long time.
exactly.
And
I love Brad LeMay. Hey now, I love
hey now.
saying that makes me smile.
Hmm.
And he
Hmm.
has such a good attitude. And
Yes, he does.
so um, Brad said, thank you. And who else? Hey now. And I think Tammy Strait maybe was the one that had the stroke anniversary. But anyway, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank
And
you.
I'll always say, I'll always say, you are someone special because you absolutely are. You were destined to be great. God doesn't sponsor any flops or flips flops. You were put here for maximum accomplishment from birth. So go be great because you can. Nothing is impossible if you just believe and look up for your answers. And if you would say that with me, hope
Hope
is
is on
on.
the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Stay,
you.
stay on the side. I'm going to finish and I'm going to say goodbye. Maybe, can you take a picture? I
Can
turned my
I?
phone. I
I'm
know
actually
I
on
turned
my
my
phone.
phone off. Somebody take a picture. Wave. Send it to me. Let me finish. Bye.
Bye.